everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So here at Excel Displays we are continuously fundraising throughout the year for local charities, local causes. We love doing our bit to give back to our local community. So on a quarterly basis we collect for our local food bank. And we know how hard it is sometimes to continuously keep your staff engaged in fundraising activities. If you're continuously fundraising for different causes, although they are great causes, sometimes staff can lose enthusiasm for them if you're constantly asking them to fundraise. So we know how hard that is. So we've come up with a few tips to give you guys a little bit of inspiration as to how you can keep your staff engaged in your fundraising activities. Okay, so here are our top tips for increasing your fundraising efforts internally and boosting engagement amongst staff in the workplace when you're doing a collection or fundraising for a local charity. So tip number one is to create a little bit of healthy competition internally. Why not split your departments into different teams and have a battle of the teams, battle of the departments sort of flow. Everybody loves a little bit of healthy competition in the workplace. You can even add a prize for the winning team, the team that collects the most money, or in our case, the team that collects the most items for the food bank. So we have split our departments into different teams. The team that collects the most items for the food bank receives a free lunch courtesy of our directors. So tip number two from us would be to set a deadline or a duration on your collection or your fundraising. So for example, with our food bank collection, we have set a 2-week deadline on the collection. So each team has 2 weeks to collect the most amount of items that they can. And then after the 2 weeks, we then take all of the items from all of the teams and we collate them together and we take them over to our local food bank. Setting a deadline creates a sense of urgency in the workplace. It keeps them engaged. If you don't put a deadline on your fundraising efforts, people are more likely to start losing interest. People forget about things. And you don't want it to turn into a case of you having to remind them all the time. When there's a deadline on it, and there's a competition especially, they're more willing to get involved and really do the most they can for the duration of the collection. Okay, and tip number three would be to keep doing constant updates of the competition or the collection throughout the duration of the time that you're doing it. So for example, our collection runs for a 2-week duration. At the end of week 1, which is actually today, we are doing an update for all staff members of how many items each team has collected. Adding updates both internally and on your social media platforms, bulletin boards, internal newsletters, that sort of thing. It really enhances the competition and makes people want to get more involved and strive to beat other teams and be that winning team. Okay, so I hope you have found these tips useful and that you can go on to use these tips and tricks in your workplace to boost staff engagement with your fundraising efforts for local charities and local causes. If anybody has any other tips that they have found that work in their workplace, please leave them below in the comments so that other people can go on to use them in their workplace as well. The more that we as businesses fundraise for our local charities and communities, the more that these charities and causes will benefit. Okay, so this time round for our food bank collection, we have split our different departments here in Excel Displays into different teams, and each team has chosen a different team name. One of our graphic designers then created a logo for each team, and each team has their logo on a box. This is their collection box. So this is our sales team. This is their team logo and their team box that they have to put their donations into. So as you can see, it's just a really simple box that we've taken from our production department. We've then just decorated it to be quite a cheap and easy way to engage staff members and create a little bit of competition internally. So here's a little preview of our weekly update for our food bank collection of our different teams and how well they're doing in the process. If you'd like to keep updated with how our teams are getting on and next week find out who won the competition and got that all important free lunch from our directors, then follow our social media platforms listed below.